Hello, my name is Dale Wilhite. I live in Mountain Village, Colorado, which is south of Grand Junction, Colorado on the western slope. If you want to find out anything about me, go to MySpace where I have a page. This is my 114th video for YouTube, and eventually I hope to make documentaries in the future, but right now I'm just making small webcam videos in which I'm pitching concepts, social and political, and just pitching out a few ideas and a few comments. This one here deals with Dr. King, Dr. Martin Luther King, who was named after the great Protestant reformer Martin Luther. Was Dr. King a communist? Well, there is no absolute evidence that he was. I can say that what he was preaching and teaching and doing doesn't quite fit into a communist mode, and here's why. A communist seeks to enslave people, something almost like you would, or people are starting to believe about Barack Obama, President Obama, because he's engaging in policies that's taking away our freedoms, like healthcare, where you're forced to buy healthcare, buy it whether you want to or not. And he's kind of like him and the Democrats are kind of like going around trying to tax this and tax that and say, well, we want you to live like this, we want you to live like that, we know better, we're smarter than you, you're stupid, you need our guidance, you need our help. We're going to dictate it for you, and we're going to take your money, and we're going to spend it any way we want. That's almost like a Marxist. Marxists are people who believe that they know what's best for the populace, for the sea of people. They're the ones who are going to guide the people they rule over by force. And of course, the key word is by force. And they will kill you, or imprison you, or torture you, or beat you if you don't submit. Anyhow, I don't think Dr. King was a communist. It doesn't, what he was preaching and teaching doesn't say that. And here's why. A communist, like I said, just tries to enslave people. He was trying to free people. He was trying to free the black man and the black woman from their fear of the white man and white woman. And he was also trying to free the white race, let's just say it that way, from their fear of the black race and from their own bigotry, which is damnable. It means you're going to hell if you don't change. And that's what he was trying, it seems to be what he was trying to do. Rosa Parks, that was certainly what she was trying to do. They were trying to free both the black man or the black race and the white race, to stop fearing each other, to learn to respect each other, to judge each other by each other's character, not their race, and trying to end this ridiculous bigotry that one race is superior to another. There is no such thing. The black man and the brown man were here long before we white people were, that's for sure. That's not the mark of a communist. A communist, as I've said, tries to enslave people, tries to make them subject to a central government that's usually non-elected, or if they're elected, it's only one person running for each position or spot or whatever. I saw no evidence of that. Even though he was just a little bit before my time, I've done a lot of research on Dr. King. And there's just no evidence that he was a communist. Again, if he was a communist, he was a really, really bad one. Did he have communists marching with him? Yeah. But sometimes that's not something you can always do everything about. There was so many people marching with him. I doubt he had the ability to talk to each person that was marching with him to find out exactly who they were and why they were marching. Remember, Charlton Heston marched with Dr. King, and rightly so. And he, not long before he died, he had told on CNN, Larry King, that he doesn't regret whatsoever marching with Dr. King, even though he became a Republican. People who are Republicans a lot of them are big supporters of what Dr. King did, even though personally it's Rosa Parks that I like and that I have the most respect for. To me, she was the one that had the most courage to stand up in the back of that bus and say, that's it, no more. I'm not doing this anymore, and we black people are not doing this anymore. So nonetheless, there's no evidence that I know of, and I've done some research, that he was a communist. And again, if he was a really, really bad one. They would not, I can assure you, the Communist Party would have thrown him out had he tried to join, because he was doing exactly the opposite of what they believe in. They want to make people enslave people. He was trying to free people. It doesn't make any sense that you try to enslave somebody when you're trying to free your own race that were once slaves, and in some ways still were slaves. It contradicts each other. It doesn't make any sense. If he was a communist, he would be trying not only to keep the black man a slave, but the white man a slave, the brown man a slave, the red man a slave, the yellow man a slave. If there's any purple out there, forget it. People out there, purple people, forget it. Just kidding. Anyhow, he's not. There's no communist. There's no absolute evidence. One day his records will be opened up and we'll find out. But you have to remember that the FBI that has all those records on him and were sealed, they were kind of biased against this guy in the first place. So you have to even take what they say with a grain of salt. That's one thing you can be aware of. Anyhow, that's just my opinion. Again, I still challenge people to prove to me that he was a communist. No one can. A lot of it is just hearsay. But the evidence suggests that he was a really bad one. A communist like Castro, like the late Stalin, they enslaved people. They enslaved them. Dr. King was trying to free people. Only people of his own race, and the white man from his bigotry, prejudice, and ignorance, and self-righteousness. Simple as that. Thank you for your time.